you all, it's Sukari here and I am back with another denim DIY video. I saw these super cute jeans on Instagram that I was in love with, but I wasn't so in love with that not so super cute price point. I'm all here for people starting their businesses and pricing their items at whatever they see fit. I do know that there are a lot of crafty people out there like me who looked at that item and said, hey, I could just make that myself and save a few dollars. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all how to get that same look for less. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so first things first, we're going to have to make the pattern for our grommet stay. When I say grommet stay, I'm referring to the piece of fabric that's going to be holding your grommet. So by no means do you actually have to make a pattern for this. Honestly, you can just take these measurements from your jeans and cut it out of the fabric you plan on using. But since I'm kind of like technical, I prefer to make a pattern. So in this video, I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to make a pattern if you choose to do so. So first things first, we have to find out where we're going to put our grommet stay and calculate the length for that so that we can make our pattern, or at the very least just cut out some denim to put there. So I decided that I want my grommet stay to start 1.5 inches from the center point on my pants. So utilizing this belt loop as our center point, I'm just going to go ahead and mark out 1.5 inches on both sides. 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches here. And now to find the length of our grommet stay, we're just going to measure from that point all the way down to where we want our grommet stay to stop. I want my grommet stay to stop right here so it can be hidden. So that is the point I'm going to measure to. So measuring from my 1.5 inches, I'm just going to go all the way down. I want my grommet stay to start at the very edge of my jeans. So that's where I'm going to be measuring it from. So going there. So mine's measures about 15.25. So that is the length that I'm going to be using when making the pattern for my grommet stay. So I decided that I want my grommet stay to be 1 3/8 inches wide by 15 inches long. If you would like to finish the edges of your grommet stay, you're going to have to add 1/4 inch or 3/8 all the way around your pattern. But I decided that I wanted the edges of my grommet stay to fray, so I'm not going to be turning every single end of my pattern. Putting these plants to work. Sometimes when I don't have a pattern weight, I just use whatever is around, something that's heavy. And today, it's my plant Bertha. That's not really her name. I haven't named her yet, but y'all get the point. I have a pattern that I'm actually going to use to cut out the fabric on my grommet stays. So this has like the 3/8 and the 1/4 or whatever else I needed. And then I also have my master pattern, which is just the exact size of my grommet stay. So now utilizing my master pattern in some grommets, I'm going to take my grommets and position them where I think I would want them. And I'm also going to put the pattern on the jeans so I can see exactly where the grommets would be. Keep in mind that there are some areas that you probably don't want to put grommets. Like for example right here, if you put a grommet right here, it'll probably just like rub and break off. So I'm not going to put one right there. So I'm just going to put my pattern on here, line it up with my markings, see where it's going to lay, and then just place my grommets on there to see if I actually want grommets in that place. After I find out where I want my grommets to be, I'm just going to go ahead and mark that on my master pattern and transfer that over to the pattern with the seam allowance. So I transferred all the markings from my master pattern onto this pattern that I'm actually going to use to cut out the fabric for my grommet stay. Now I'm just going to go ahead, utilize my pattern, and cut out the fabric, and make sure that you mark wherever you're going to put the holes in for your grommets on your fabric. Now that I cut out my grommet stays, I'm just going to fold back the areas where I added turn-in allowance. So I went ahead and I folded back 3/8 on one side of my grommet stay, but I also added 3/8 down here because I wanted this to be in turned edge as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add my double side tape and fold this down as well. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the square because I don't want it to be super chunky right there. So for those of you who have never installed a grommet before, I'm gonna do a little tutorial. So first things first, you wanna make a hole the size of this opening in your fabric. I don't have a hole punch that big, so I'm just gonna go ahead with the blade and make a little X in whatever spot you wanna put this grommet in. Now that we put a hole in our fabric, we're just gonna force this grommet inside of that hole. You may have to make the hole bigger, but try not to make it too big because if you make it too big, the grommet will just fall through the hole. Next up, you're gonna take the flat part of the grommet and just sandwich that on the wrong side of the fabric. So this is how it looks in the front, and then after putting the back piece on, this is how it looks. But as you can see, we still have a lot of that grommet still standing up. So your grommet kit should come with two tools. I'm not really sure what they're called, but essentially this tool has a little groove in it that fits the grommet in it perfectly, and you're just gonna lay the good side of your grommet onto that tool right in the little notch. Then you're gonna take this tool right here and stick this right in the hole, and then just hammer it down until this edge is completely folded down. And a good tip to protect your tool is to always cover your hammer in leather. So this is the same exact method I'm gonna be using on my grommet stay for my shorts. So this is how our grommet stay looks after I put in about 100 of those grommets. But now I'm gonna go ahead and do a straight stitch right here on this edge that I left to fray. I want it to fray, but I don't want it to fray to the point where it's starting to fray and eating up the fabric that's near the grommets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do like a simple little straight stitch, like 1/8 in, and just go straight down this side. So I finished grommeting and sewing our grommet stay on the raw edge side, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and position this on the shorts based on the marks that we made earlier. Alright you all, so I just finished putting the stay onto my shorts. I tried it on to make sure that I liked it, and it is already so super cute. So now all I have to do is do a stitch. I'm going to do a stitch right here on this bottom piece, then go all the way up the side with the fold and come right back on this top right here. Make sure that you do not sew all the way around because you won't be able to get your laces through. So make sure that you leave this part, this inner part open. So I'm just going to do a little stitch right here, come all the way down, and then right there, and leave that center open. So I sewed the grommet stay to the shorts. As you can see, I did a stitch up here along the little belt loop. I did one coming down the side, and I also did one at the end, but I didn't do any stitches in the center. I just left this open, and now we can go ahead and lace it up. you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.